Thank you, Griff.
That's right.
All right, so we've been debating the best fireworks in the country. Well, Bill Bennett, the former Secretary of Education under President Reagan, is joining us now, and he's in Bald Head Island, North Carolina. I venture to say that you argue it the best fireworks are where you are, sir.
Well, I'm just a couple of miles from Anna, guys, over in Southport, and we think that's the best little place for the celebration of the 4th. I guess it was voted the best small town or sea beach town for the 4th of July. So it's a great day here. We got a golf cart parade. 100 carts will be decorated with various themes. It's small town America.
Golf
it's great.
cart
Great to be out of the
parades,
swamp.
things like that. And Doctor, we're going to get into politics here in a second, but you're a historian. You ran the Department of Education. Remind Americans out there as they wake up on this Independence Day how significant this date is.
It's a great day. By the way, let me borrow from, I'm going to put it in my commonplace book. I write down things that are memorable. Pete, that's great what you said in that little piece. We don't fight because we hate what's in front of us. We fight because we love what's behind us. We are the last best hope of Earth, as Lincoln said. And America is the greatest, not only the greatest country, but the greatest idea ever struck off by the mind of man. Do you know the Constitution, today we mostly celebrate the Declaration, but the Constitution is the most imitated political document in the world. And we have lived longer continuously, even though we're a young country, we have lived longer continuously under a single document than any nation on earth.
When you look at that founding, I'm still touched by the idea of the Declaration of Independence being approved on this day in 1776, read aloud a few days later in Philadelphia to the world, really, declaring our independence from tyranny. How far have we moved since that day? Do you recognize the same country?
Some of us have moved a long way. There's the transatlantic agnostics who do not recognize either God or country. But a lot of America has stayed right put, right where it was at the beginning. Witness the last election. Survey that. Go to Southport. Talk to people today. Replay those interviews you guys had in the first hour. This idea still beats in the hearts of Americans. Most important, probably, though, is how much it beats in the hearts of people in other countries. I used to say, Pete and Clayton, that if you're in a foreign nation with a boot on your neck and you see a group of soldiers coming up a hill carrying a flag, you pray that it's the American flag, because that's the only group of soldiers that you can count on that are there to help you and not to hurt you.
And you can't help. Yeah, it gives you chills, and you can't help but feel just so patriotic when you think about the history of this country and what today means. There's a new poll out, Secretary, and I know you have some thoughts about this, and it shows 35% of people under the age of 30, they say they are not patriotic or not patriotic at all. I know you have two millennial sons. What do you say to all of those out there who say they are not patriotic or not patriotic at all?
Yeah, well, my sons are fine. Mrs. Bennett has raised a good boy.
She raised
you
have a wonderful
one
wife.
Marine, Abby, as you know, one Marine. And Pete knows John. John talked to you about joining the Army Rangers a while back. So they're fine. But the millennials are difficult. They're a problematic generation. However, hope is on the way. Help is on the way. Generation Z, I think, looks very promising. This is the younger group, oldest age now about 22. It looks like their attitudes are shifting back to a little more conservative view of the world rather than these millennials to the children of the boomers. And the boomers didn't teach everything that they should have,
Doctor, obviously looking ahead, President Trump going to meet with Vladimir Putin over the next few days. Much will be made of the mainstream media about that meeting. Will it be a bit of a bromance? My question is how strict and tough will he be with Vladimir Putin? Are we going to see him put him in a headlock? I mean, this administration has been pretty vocal against the Vladimir Putin regime as it is. Rex Tillerson's meeting and so forth. What do you expect to see?
Right. Who would you rather have in negotiations, guys, and Abby? Would you rather have Donald Trump, or would you rather have Barack Obama whispering to Medvedev about more flexibility? I'll trust this guy in a deal. Look, I think it'll be straightforward and candid. They'll talk about Syria. They'll talk about common ground, interests, common ground. I expect the president will raise this. He has little reticence, I think you'd all agree. Are we going to talk about the media, by the way?
Please,
we are going to talk about
Please, go ahead.
The hysterics over the tweets. What's your take, Doctor?
Well, there's a lot of talk about the media, and I get a fair amount of people talking to me about the media, and we even have media here in North Carolina, and. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. This is Fox Country. Get out of here. I think the president has taught you a lesson. This is Fox Country. Anyway.
You tell him.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that terrible? They just try to. They horn in every conversation, but the president taught them a lesson. Look, the media, a lot of the media dislikes the American people, and the American people have repaid the favor. There's a great Latin phrase, which I know Pete will immediately translate, odi profanum vulgus. I hate the vulgar crowd. If Americans like it, whether it's fireworks and hot dogs on the 4th of July or Disney World or Clint Eastwood movies, the snobby media will not like it. The American people sense that. They know that. They know they're held in disdain by these elites, and so they return the favor. But I love this president and his aggressiveness about this. Some of the tweets, it could be rephrased and reframed. But I watched several presidents bow to the media, try to ingratiate themselves to the media. It doesn't work, and they deserve a tap on the head. By the way, Nancy Pelosi said the media were the guardians of democracy. Free press is an important part of our democracy. But if the bad guys are coming over the wall, who do you want defending you? The staff at CNN or the United States Marine Corps?
Have you ever seen the media treat a president the way they have with President Trump? Because you've been around this a very long time.
No.
You've seen it all.
No, Abby, I've seen it all. I saw what they did to Reagan, before he got in and when he got in. The Bushes, both of them. Poor Dan Quayle was the subject of ridicule, but I have never seen anything like it. But, Flannery O'Connor, the great writer, says you have to push as hard as the age that pushes against you. They're pushing against Donald Trump very hard, but this guy pushes back.
Absolutely. And I see, you mentioned right behind you, I see a sign that says "Let's roll," and we've talked today about how the Declaration led to a revolution. Ultimately, I think you always speak so well of the fact that it's not just the ideas you have, but it's the willingness to fight for them as well. That the Declaration led to a revolution that we almost lost, and it took the courage of a few to preserve our republic.
I remember reading in one of the latest biographies of George Washington that he lost more battles than almost any general in history. You're right. This thing was touch and go. And, of course, they were badly served. They didn't have the equipment. They didn't have the material. They didn't have shoes, a lot of them, fighting the greatest army in the world. But, whether it's British redcoats or now this nut in North Korea, the American people are up to it. I said the other day, one of the best things about Fox, I know I'm a company guy here, but the salutes to the military, the constant theme of how much we owe the military, it's extraordinary. Our younger son went to Princeton. It was a great achievement to go to Princeton, as Pete will tell you. But the better thing that graduation day was when he took the oath to the United States of America and became a Marine.
Amen.
It's a great country. We're grateful for all these wonderful people today.
And that's what makes us proud today, our military.
Perfect guest for this day.
Doctor.
Secretary Bennett.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Do you know what odi profanum vulgus means, Pete?
I didn't know it. Nope, I didn't. You gave me a lot of credit, and I'm going to fail you here, Doctor.
I hate the vulgar crowd, but we don't. We don't hate the vulgar crowd.
That's it.
We are the vulgar crowd.
He thought it was a barbecue that we were going to have outside. He got excited about it. Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Happy 4th.